Yo, lady, um, welcome to another episode. This is today's training, which is what to do immediately once you hit a fat loss plateau. So make sure you have a pen and paper in hand, and you want to take notes like you're never going to see these slides again. So just put a one in the Zoom chat if you can hear me properly, just to make sure that the mic is working. Cool. And let's see. So. If you've ever felt stuck and frustrated with your fat loss journey, I want you to know that you're not alone because plateaus are completely normal. They're a part of the process. So put a two in the Zoom chat if you've ever felt like, or if you've ever hit a plateau in your fat loss journey. Because plateaus don't mean that you failed, and they definitely don't mean that your body has stopped responding forever. All it means is that your body has adapted to the routine you've been giving it. So your eating, your activity, your lifestyle, your body has just gotten used to it. And when your body adapts, progress is going to slow down. That's why it's important to know what adjustments to make when this happens. So instead of throwing in the towel and going back to old habits, I'm going to explain to you why plateaus are common, okay? So number one is you've probably been eating the same number of calories for too long. So your body adapts and becomes more efficient. So the same intake that once worked isn't going to be working forever. So you got to make sure you're either decreasing the calories or upping the protein. Women also plateau because you're not moving as much as you think. You're less active than you think throughout the day. So maybe the workouts are good, but you're just sitting a lot and your daily activity is just super low. Number three is also like your protein intake is too low. Protein is essential for fat loss, and without enough protein, it's harder to preserve muscle and keep the metabolism high. Number four is stress and recovery. So when your stress and your recovery are poor, you're going to see slower progress. So if you're not giving your body time to recover, your fat loss slows down no matter how perfect your diet is. So you can be in a calorie deficit all you want, but if you're not sleeping properly, you're not going to see any results whatsoever. Because when you're in a state of high stress, your body's going to want to cling on to that fat. And number five is lack of accountability. So if no one is checking up on you, it's easy to cut corners and slip back into old habits without realizing it. But the good news is like every single one of these has a solution. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do next. So here's what to do immediately in order to break through those plateaus. So number one, the first thing you want to do right away is to adjust your calories. So put a three in the Zoom chat if you're tracking your calories. If not, it's going to be hard to see any progress in your fat loss. Okay, so if you're not tracking calories, you're only making the biggest mistake. Like you want to make sure you're counting. If you're not counting, you're guessing. If you're guessing, then you're most likely eating over maintenance. But here's the mistake most women make is that they slash their calories way too low, thinking that faster is better. But what actually happens is you create massive cravings, and then you start to lose energy, and you eventually binge or fall off completely. So instead of cutting your calories by 200 or 300, just reduce it by 50. And that's literally just like one tablespoon of peanut butter and or maybe switching to a lighter creamer or skipping a handful of chips, right? It's such a small nudge that your body barely even notices. But over time, it puts you back into a deficit and fat loss starts again. But you want to remember that it's not about eating as little as possible. It's about making small and sustainable adjustments that add up. And if your weight doesn't change in 2 weeks after you've dropped your calories by 50, you can drop the calories by 50 a bit more, or you can try these next steps. Okay, so we can also try is increasing the physical activity throughout the day. So you just want to move a bit more each day. Walking is honestly one of the most underrated tools for fat loss because it burns calories without adding stress to your body. It also, you could do walking pretty much anywhere. You won't break a sweat too much when it comes to walking. This is the most underrated tool for fat loss. So adding 500 steps per day extra is pretty much the equivalent to a 5-minute walk. And you could just add more steps in by parking further away from the grocery store or the mall, um, or pacing while you're on your phone. Okay. It's such a small adjustment that you can fit it, like you can fit that 500 steps into your day without even thinking about it. So over the course of the week, those extra steps are going to add up because it's going to be extra hundreds of calories burned, which can be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through a plateau. And you also want to remember that fat loss isn't just about the gym, it's about everything you do outside the gym as well. Put a four in the Zoom chat if you're still following with me. Okay. So we're going to go over number three. The third thing you need to do if you're on a plateau and you want to break through that plateau is you want to make sure your protein intake is where it should be. Most women undereat protein without even realizing it. And this is one of the biggest reasons for fat loss plateaus. I recommend making sure that you're getting 30%, like 30% of your daily calories are coming from protein. Why? Because protein keeps you fuller, longer, and it reduces cravings, and it actually takes more energy for your body to digest compared to carbs or fat. And I've had tons of ladies in the program that have been on a calorie deficit for months, but their weight wasn't changing and their physique wasn't changing at all. And that's because they were under eating protein and they were overeating fats. So you just want to make sure you're getting at least 30% or 30% of your overall calories is protein. If you're not getting that, it's going to be hard for your physique to change. So there are going to be times where you're eating within calories, but if your fat content is too high and your carb content is too high, you're not going to see a physical change in your body and on the number, like, and with the number on the scale. Because what protein does, it protects your lean muscle, which is the key to keeping your metabolism high while you lose fat. So when protein is too low, you're going to feel hungrier. Your workouts are going to suffer. You're going to slow down your fat loss. So aim to center your meals around protein. For me, for breakfast, it's always something like 2 eggs and a lot of cottage cheese, or something like protein oats with some fruit, right? Every meal just has to have protein in it, and that's how you're going to hit your protein goal. And that could be just adding more lean meats, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tofu, stuff like that is going to increase your protein intake because that one shift is going to completely change how easy fat loss feels. Like, trust me, like after going through it with all the ladies in the program that have felt stuck, they saw a crazy change in their physique and their weight in only like a week's time. And this has happened recently as well. And the last and most important step when it comes to all of this is accountability. So it doesn't matter how good your plan is, if no one is holding you accountable, it's so easy to fall into your old habits. And I believe everyone should have a coach for anything. I'm not just trying to sell myself, but I'm just telling you, like for anything in life that you want to get better in, you always need someone to push you and you always need someone on your ass. Because I'm a firm believer in always having a coach or a teacher or a mentor. Because you just like for anything you get better in life, you just need someone to push your ass. Because I too have a coach right now. And for example, like many people ask me, like, yo, Ben, like, how do you handle this many clients and post on Instagram every single day and make webinars like this every week and post on YouTube every week? Like, honestly, the real answer is like, dude, like there's someone on my ass every single day who's holding me accountable for these things. And I know like myself, I can't do all these things on my own. I need someone to hold me accountable because I've done it alone before and nothing just gets done. I just waste more time. So, for people that are in the Zoom chat right now, so I want you to type no accountability equals time wasted because you're just wasting time if no one is on your ass. You're gonna waste time figuring everything out on your own. You're gonna waste time doing research on something that you don't even know. You're gonna do research like spend hours or days or weeks or years finding the right game plan. That's a waste of time. But when you have someone holding you accountable and teaching you all these things, you're just you're like not just relying on willpower, you're just gonna get your answers boom right away. So instead, like once you have someone checking in on you and supporting you and making sure you're actually following through on the things you said you do, like it could be honestly like a coach, it could be a group, it could be a workout buddy, it could be even a friend who's on the same fitness journey, right? Bottom line is when you know someone is watching, you're going to show up differently. Okay. And that's why women who have accountability always get better results than women who try to do it all on their own. Okay. So, game plan after this call. So, here's the four-step breakthrough plan if you've been struggling and you've been on a fat loss plateau. Okay. So, here's your game plan moving forward. If you feel stuck, don't just give up and say this isn't working. Instead, make these small strategic adjustments. Okay. So, number one is you want to lower your calories slightly. Just 50 calories per week. That's supposed to say per week. Okay. Or you can choose to add 500 steps daily into your weekly average of steps. Okay. That's 5 minutes extra of your day of walking. It's not that much. Or you can just make sure you're getting enough protein throughout the day. For most women, it's like you always want to aim for like 80 to 100 grams of protein per day minimum if you want to see some actual results. Okay. And number four is find some accountability. Like, don't do this on your own. Find a buddy, find a friend, find a team, find a group, find a coach. If you don't have accountability, it's going to be super hard to do this all on your own. And you always want to adjust every 2 weeks, maybe by adding, or just like one of each. Maybe 1 week, you're going to decrease your calories by 50. And if nothing changes, maybe 2 weeks later, add 500 steps into your day. If nothing changes, look at your macros. Are you actually getting enough protein? If nothing changes, maybe decrease your calories again. If nothing changes and you've been stuck for months, you probably need some accountability. Okay? And these are honestly all simple, but when you put them together, they're super powerful. And if you're having a hard time getting the game plan down, and honestly, the game plan isn't even that hard. It's honestly just getting 3 workouts done, being on your calorie deficit, and making sure you're getting at least 8 to 10,000 steps per day. If you're having a hard time doing that, you really need someone to hold you accountable to do all these things because these are honestly simple things that you could do on your own. And just making sure you're following these four things, you're gonna break out of your plateau without feeling like you're starving, without feeling like you're overtraining, or giving up your current lifestyle. Because you gotta remember, like fat loss is a journey of small adjustments. If you just focus on these four things and adjust these four things, if you're on a plateau, you're gonna move past your plateau and get back on track right away. Okay? So that's pretty much it for the class today. If there's any questions, put the questions into the Zoom chat right now. If not, then um, just put it all good into the Zoom chat.